Up next, we got another one from the Lapeef Network where they're talking about old women killing mentorship with Gen Z and how they won't listen. Let's deep dive.
Lady O, I don't disagree with you, right? I guess my question is, do you want to resonate with the youth? Do you want them to hear and understand what it is you're saying?
Yeah, I do all the time. It's just
No. I'm asking, do you? Are you saying yes?
Yeah,
because
I do all the time.
I know, like
them.
my father, he just want to get his shit off. He don't give a.
She just want to get her shit off because she can't slow the conversation down long enough to make the connection. Do you want to resonate with the youth? Let's just stop right there. Yes or no? Yeah, I do all the time.
Fuck if you agree or not. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And so he gonna say, well, I understand what that means. I guess we have to understand the effectiveness of it though, right? And so I'm pretty rigid with the kids I coach high school football, right? So I'm literally entwined with them, you know? But I think Sierra deserves a few follow-up questions. When we don't follow up, we just leverage the opportunity to tell her what we think is right, right? So there's a question. Why?
Okay.
Why? Well, now I was just asking you a couple questions, right? But like I would ask her why, right? And then when does grace abound? And then how do we leverage trauma in terms of what grace this person should get as opposed to the other? Because we all have traumatic experiences that we think are the worst.
Well, the thing is, she's not complaining.
Well, this is more for Sierra. Well, Lady O, right? So this is more for Sierra, right? But this is my point. Okay. Yeah, my questions. I was done when I was asking you those questions. But I'm now, because these are a few things that should have happened so we can mine through the subject and still get to the point that you landed on. But you have to first navigate it and mine it through, right? And we can get her to see the error of giving grace to everybody as opposed to just saying, don't give grace to everybody, right? We got to walk people through and make them think it's their idea.
Well, the thing is, I did what I did. This is the thing. I don't coddle, right? The thing is,
Me neither. That's not what we're talking about.
Okay, but it is because you want me to. Okay, look, I wasn't talking about her. She's shown that she's accountable for things that she did in her past. I'm talking about from the generations under us. I talked to them a whole lot, way more than you realize.
Why did you say coddling though?
Well, I think when you say that, we got to give people grace because they came from a certain, no, we don't.
I didn't say that though.
Now, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying something that she did say. That's when I said that.
I ain't gonna lie. I watched this video before now, so I have a deeper perspective of it. And that's why I stopped it right here. Because I really want to be able to take a little bit of a moment to nuance the problem, right? And active listening, especially in our women, is a challenge. So we sped through that, right? But let's rewind it so you can see where the issue came into play at, where the discrepancy falls in at. And this is how you know that that person isn't listening. Sometimes you be in the fray of doing things and you don't even realize what's being said, but thank God for the internet.
Of giving grace to everybody as opposed to just saying don't give grace to everybody, right? We got to walk people through and make them think it's their idea.
Well, the thing is, I did what I did. This is the thing. I don't coddle, right? The thing is,
Me neither. That's not what we're talking about.
Okay, but it is because you want me to. Okay, look, I wasn't talking about her. She's shown that she's accountable for things that she did in her past. I'm talking about from the generations under us. I talked to them a whole lot, way more than you realize.
Why did you say coddling though?
Well, I think when you say that, we got to give people grace because they came from a certain, no, we don't.
I didn't say that.
When you say that we got to give grace to people that come from a certain trauma is what he was talking about, so I understand the essence of what she's trying to convey. No, we don't. His response is, I didn't say that though. Okay. I'm going to just pull it back just a little bit.
Why did you say coddling though?
Well, I think when you say that, we got to give people grace because they came from a certain, no, we don't.
I didn't say that though.
Now, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying.
You said this. I didn't say that though. No, I'm not talking about you. Why did you say coddling though? I said coddling because you said this. I didn't say that though. Well, I'm not talking about you. That's the conversations we're having right now.
Talking about from the generations under us. I talked to them a whole lot, way more than you realize.
Why did you say coddling though?
Well, I think when you say that, we got to give people grace because they came from a certain, no, we don't.
I didn't say that though.
Now, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying something that she did say. That's when I said that.
Dr. Lady O, you just said when I said, right? So now me and you are having a conversation, which is great now. Right. So I don't believe in coddling either. So where do we go from there?
Here's the thing, right? You see the the level of patience he's able to institute in this conversation, when in fact she is wrong in how she articulated herself, because she spoke on what it is that he was saying, and he corrected her and said, I didn't say that. And then her response to him saying that was, I'm not talking about you. But the premise of how she built that argument of why she's speaking on coddling falls. And so if we're having a genuine conversation, a good faith conversation, one where both are actively listening to each other, then this wouldn't happen. So now there has to be a lesson taught, because the premise of what you've based your argument on has already been removed. You're not standing on anything. You're falling into the abyss right now. You don't even know it.
Okay, then I don't owe nobody grace because they came from a bad background. That's not my responsibility or my problem.
Did you do everything you achieved by yourself?
Mostly, yeah. But I also had, my ex-husband, my kids, and so I raised kids.
Moved it on. Did anybody ever give you a second chance?
Not really. I bust my ass in life. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, then if you're saying that you did it all by yourself and nobody ever gave you a second chance?
That whole second chance is like what though? Because I married and
it was a very general statement intentionally.
You fucked up. You had a kid. Yeah, whatever the things are.
Yeah, okay. Well, I got married and I had kids. But to be honest with you, after that, I pretty much, me and my ex-husband basically just co-parent and raised our kids to the best of our abilities. But to be honest with you, I heard more no's and I heard yeses. That's the truth. That's what made me get out here and bust my tail.
Yeah, and this is what I was saying earlier, right?
Criticism in life.
No doubt.
So the thing is to make you a stronger person. Everybody, you would never ever get a chance to please everybody. It's just not how life works.
You misunderstand strength, right? Because what happens is our experience should be everybody else's, and then we project it on. That's what's happening. You can't see it because you never received it. Right. And as Black people, we put so much strength in going through diabolical shit. Right. We think that the only way we triumph is through trauma, and we do ourselves a disservice. Now, I agree with you overwhelmingly, but there's a way in which you deliver the information, right, to really resonate with people. And I just wonder if that's the goal.
No, because let me tell you why. When I do, no matter how I come off, there is always the message, okay? I've talked to women in the most nice sort of way. It's never, ever my tone. It's 99.99% the message. We got to stop, okay? At the end of the day, it's the message. But again, the thing is that I worked hard in life. That's just the bottom line. I didn't sit up here and use my, these traumas or whatever to say, oh, this is going to hold me back. You keep going. This is why I say I never raised my sons with trauma. I didn't tell them the things that I went through as a child. I raised them as a mother should. So this is the thing. Sierra, she didn't seem to me that she was complaining about her thing. She seemed like she took accountability. I wasn't really talking about her at all anyway. I'm talking about for the younger women out here that's out here doing all this screwing. I was talking about anybody on this panel. You took it that way. I wasn't talking to her.
Took it? What you mean by that?
But because you got people watching. You got hundreds of people watching this show. I'm talking to the younger girls out here who are out here that's really thinking, the body count. I'm talking about them, not talking about
But it's a misconception, right? And so it's pure speculation.
That's not my problem, though.
Well, no. I'm saying no. You have a misconception, right? So when we start looking at the numbers, preteen pregnancy is down.
I know that it ain't never been a big thing.
But what I'm saying is, if you always really talking.
The people that are watching this show are a part of the problem because they're on here every day of the week. Bougie. They're not sleeping with anybody.
Bougie, that's rude.
Okay. I'm sorry.
You're not sorry, right? Y'all do it on purpose.
This is. I'm confused as to what she's saying. Right, that's why I'm trying to get clarity.
Okay, say that again.
I'm saying.
Hemp wasn't done speaking yet, and I was trying to pull a poor lady up by accident.
That's all good. I kind of lost my train of thought,
The idea that he's trying to convey right now is that the way to be able to reach the youth is to be more inquisitive, to be able to ask questions and then insert ideas as you continue to ask questions and lead them through questions versus being declarative in your thinking and the way that you operate, because it creates the space for better understanding to be able to attack whatever the discrepancy is with full force force versus operating in the mindset of assumptions. Now, I agree with Dr. Lady O. The reason why is because I think that there's more than one way to skin a cat. I think that sometimes certain situations, even though the screwdriver is very useful, a very useful tool, sometimes you gotta hammer that shit inside of their head. And then sometimes you gotta be like, man, if they get it, they get it. They don't, they don't. Because not everybody is meant to make it. Now, I know that what Hamp is trying to say as far as the net being thrown wide, you can grab more people if you operate in this perspective and change your perspective. I can agree with that. But sometimes some people are just hard-headed, you know, and with lived experience comes different ways of, you know, articulating that. And it's a tall order to have somebody of her experience to transform her method of disseminating information, especially considering all the things that she's described that she's gone through. Because I'm listening to her. She has gone out and got it. She does not operate in a victim mentality, and I can respect that. And so when she talks to these women, she talks to these women very directly instead of talking to them in a more inquisitive way, if that makes sense. But I, you know, to shoot her some bell, I think that she, you know, she's not far off.
I just say this, right? I'm heavy-handed with the kids, but one thing I believe in is you don't cuss them if you don't love them, right? And so there's a rapport built to where I can be heavy-handed, right? I can be direct, but you haven't built up rapport, and we just leverage our experience onto others and think it's gonna resonate. And that's where we fall short when we giving advice.
I can agree.
Right?
With that.
I'm not a graceful person in life. So when people talk about grace, that's not even how I conduct myself. But I understand about conveying a message to people that come from different generations, different walks of life.
Okay, well, I check my box and I get messages from younger people all the time, so I really don't care.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, my message is my message at the end of the day. I'm not going to change that at all.
You sound like these young girls.
Huh?
I said what I said. That's your energy.
I didn't hear you.
No, I said you sound like these young girls. That I said what I said. Energy.
I didn't hear that part.
You got the old school. I said what I said. Energy.
Oh, well, I didn't hear. Okay, that's fine. But you know, but
I can kind of respect Dr. Lady O because just objectively looking at her, she's naturally on the defense right now because it's not just DJ Hamp that's throwing admonishment. You got there go Bougie, she threw her lick in, and then you got Real Dope Daddy, he done threw his lick in, but she's still maintaining some level of decorum. And honestly, man, I think that's a lot harder with women because they feel more than men do, but I can respect her level of decorum. I can appreciate it. I can appreciate her level of decorum even though she's being admonished. Now, what DJ Hamp is saying is 100% facts, and what he's saying is and now I can kind of understand the more evolved version of who she is, which is somebody that don't give a fuck, same as me. The best way to be able to reach these people, to be able to give them and insert the advice that you need to insert, is through questioning and being inquisitive, and then kind of making it their idea, just how he said a little earlier.
The thing is, that this is the thing. Everybody's tone is different. We can't expect everybody to have this subtle tone to get across because everybody takes information differently. At the end of the day, you'll be surprised how people will suck up information when they really want to learn. So that's my thing.
When they really want to learn.
Being rude or disrespectful, I was really making a point about women should keep their legs closed and stop sleeping with guys that they don't. I'm just saying that's just the biggest thing. That's my biggest gripe with a lot of stuff. So I wasn't talking about anybody on this panel. That's y'all taking everything too far, not me. That's y'all.
No, nobody said that.
You did just show us
way too far.
You did just give us an example.
Y'all going way off the whole, my whole entire point. Y'all taking it off the mark. Y'all taking it off, not me.
You did just give us an example of how you just don't listen to. You never really take advice on here, from what I see. Most of the time, you are. Because we all can learn the same way that you say, "Oh, it don't matter how I say it. It's what I said," you know, so that they can take you just like the younger people who you coach and who you talk to.
What can you teach me that I have not been through in life?
See, that's the thing right there. You don't think that you can learn, so you're already your God.
You look up on someone older.
You've reached whatever point that God is. Whoever God is, that's who you think you are right now. Because you said you can't
technology from younger people, but I already know AI myself because that's what I work with as well.
Listen,
but I'm just saying, I'm talking about life experiences. I'm not going to learn from you all. There's nothing you can freaking teach me. I have kids older than you, and I'm not trying to shame you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to shame you, but I'm saying I'm at a different part of life. But someone older than me, yes, they can very well teach me because I'm not there yet, and I say that all the time. If you listen to any of my content on TikTok.
So a younger person can't, but Lady O, a younger person can teach you.
What she say?
Right now,
displaying behavior. She trying to shame. Okay.
Right now, it seems like you talking a lot. Like you giving me like a headache. It's too late. You talking a lot.
They keep asking me stuff.
No, but you still talking a lot. Like you still talking right now. I can't even say nothing. You feel what I'm saying? I haven't said nothing for a while. I'm saying that a young person can teach an older person. I understand you've been through life. You have a lot of kids that got married, right? You talk about all the success, right? All the stuff that you have established. But because the world is evolving, people that are younger can teach you, right? Now, are you saying in general, or are you just talking about relationships when you say young people can't teach you? Please, yes or no?
No.
To the relationship or in general? Can they teach you? In general. So who taught you how old are you? Do you mind if I ask?
I'm 53. Sorry.
How old?
I'm 53.
Okay, so back in the day, I know, like, I'm a millennial, so it came from dial-up connection. Now we on Wi-Fi, right? Mm-hmm. You're telling me you kept up with all the times, and nobody in your family that's younger than you can taught you how to use the electronics or anything like that?
No, I'm an iPhone user. I teach AI classes. I'm creating AI courses now. I learned a lot of stuff on my own. But I also said younger people can't teach technology, if anything. Yeah.
Hold on. But you don't have the same upbringing as, let's say, I do. I know you don't. Me and you have different upbringings. So
it doesn't matter. I still have to keep up, though. I still have to keep up. Has nothing to do with it.
But I'm saying I can still teach you. You didn't grow up like I did.
Teach me technology. I think you can.
I ain't talking about just technology. We said in general. Remember, you just said that. I could teach you things that you haven't been through that I've been through.
Like what?
How many states you lived in? I lived in 5. I lived in 10.
Okay, well, I lived in 5 states.
But I'm saying
you're 27. I'm 53.
I'm not. I get your age. This is the problem I don't like with people that's older, because it's not just you. It's a lot of people your age that say that. Like, if I say something to somebody and they never learned it, right? Then it's like, oh, you can't tell me nothing. But when they hear that shit on Instagram, oh, look at this. Oh, look what I learned. But I just said that to somebody. Like, I'm just saying, there's things online that you learn that young people can tell you straight to your face, but you're saying that you're younger than me, so I can't learn from you. That's a terrible mindset. Therefore, you shouldn't be teaching nobody nothing.
First of all, my manager is younger than me, so that's false. So of course, there's going to be things, parts of the job that she's going to come to me with and say, "Hey, this is something new that we're implementing." And I also said technology, but we're talking about life, marriage, and relationships. No, I'm not going to listen to you like ever.
Okay, before y'all keep going back and forth with this,
and don't get on to me about that. This is my life. Live your life. Everybody like different. How you gonna teach me?
I agree with Lady O in the general sense that a lot of times we run into older people who are stuck in their ways, which is understandable. But she evidently, just based off of the conversation, has learned a lot through life, and she has settled in the way that she is now. What I'm saying to that is, certain situations require a hammer. You can't screwdriver your way through every situation, and that is necessary. You have to understand what her objective is as well. And so the same way that they're admonishing her for not being willing to be so open-minded as if she's a new student in life to people that have lived less life than her, is the same reason why she don't ask y'all a whole bunch of questions, because you're just not interested in learning or understanding why she feels the way she feels, which is substantiated by reason. Her life and lived experience, there's a lot to be understood, there's a lot to be desired, there's a lot to be respected with that. Now, her approach, however, is what Hamp was talking about. As far as being able to communicate with the youth effectively, if that's your goal, keyword, if that's your goal. Because sometimes the goal is just to give it to the ones that's going to get it, and whoever don't, fuck them. Then you're going to have to be more inquisitive with the youth, because they're not going to be receptive, just like they're demonstrating right now in real time. What's happening right now is you're looking at the youth rebel against her because of her approach in real time. If her approach was different, they wouldn't be talking to her like this.
I understand.
That was the rigidity I'm talking about. That was the older people do not listen to children. Older people think that what they know
is what is what is. What they've been taught is what is. And there's nothing outside of that. There's nothing new that they could possibly learn from anyone that's younger than them. That is the unhealthy, toxic mindset of older people that I talk about. The one thing that I'm always an advocate of is people have to be their own people. I don't tell anybody to not think something. What I give is another perspective. And I take in perspectives from everyone else because if it's valuable, I can use that. And so I don't tell people that what they think is necessarily wrong. I can say it doesn't work for me. It don't sound right for me. But Laisha could absolutely teach me things. That can teach me things. Like I'm one of the oldest people up here. Y'all can teach me things. It is that rigid, toxic, closed off mindset of the people of my generation and before that is harming the younger generation. It is telling them basically what Lady O just said is that younger people are useless to her. And she is the one that imparts the wisdom on them. And I think that is very wrong and harmful because you're telling them that they don't matter and what they think is it doesn't matter. You need to tell them because that has been said. No, you don't tell me anything. I tell you because I'm older than you by like 8 years. But I think that we can all do. My message is always we need to listen to each other because everyone has a perspective that matters.
I disagree with this entirely. Number one, I don't think that we need to listen to everybody. I think we need to listen to the ones who know, okay? And the ones who know are gonna usually tell it to you very straight. Boheme Noir, I don't think that Lady O is actually demonstrating none of what she's saying. A lot of what Boheme just basically asserted what her meaning behind things is even based off of anything she has described in the time that she spoke. But simultaneously though, I think that what she's experiencing is exactly what Hamp was trying to protect her from, because even though her meaning is well and she's speaking direct and she's speaking truthful, their perspective of it or perception of what it is that she's saying to them is what Boheme Noir described as her thinking that she's better than them.
Everyone has valuable information and wisdom to impart that actually does matter.
That's not true.
Do not have
Everyone
to live
does not have that.
lives.
That's not true.
All of our things matter. All of our values matter. All of our thoughts matter.
No, they don't.
Okay, so question.
No, they don't. That right there infuriates me because that right there is the exact reason why America is on the decline, and that's the exact reason why the black community is on the decline, because this idea of inclusiveness and hearing everybody's thoughts is ridiculous. That doesn't serve us. The people that are supposed to have the thoughts are the best and the brightest. They're the ones that's supposed to lead the community, because operating off a committee the way that she's describing is ridiculous.
Okay. Well, okay, so why is it okay for y'all to say y'all can tell me stuff, but I can't tell y'all anything? Why it's for the older generation? Y'all just said that whatever the older generation tell y'all, that it's not y'all world. We live differently. So the thing is, that is a contradictory. At the end of the day, when it comes to life,
they didn't say that. I said that.
Okay, well, whoever. This is the thing. I live my life. I'm not working 3, 4, 5 jobs a week. Like, there's nothing literally for real you really can teach me.
Lady, you still young.
Though
you got so much life to live. You got a lot. You not old.
He's just doing this to
y'all say I am. So let y'all tell them.
You are not old.
They interchange it whenever they want to.
20 more years.
Sure.
Thank you, Daddy. I'll take that.
I know, right? Yeah, y'all say that now, so I say so to piss y'all off. But my thing is
right.
This is the thing. This is the
misconception.
Like her.
She real.
I do talk to people that's younger, and I said that earlier today. I talk to people that's much younger. I have friends who are in their 40s and 30s, late 30s and 40s. I have friends in their 60s. The things that we talk about is definitely different. That's for sure. But be honest with you, my younger friends, they talk about things that I've already experienced, to be honest with you. And these are good people that love them to the moon and back. You could teach me about technology, but be honest, y'all can't teach me about life because you're not here. And I know it's hard for y'all to understand that. It's extremely hard because you're not 53. You're not in your 50s. So until you get to my age, you cannot say how I got to live my life. You're just not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of the day.
I have a quick question, right? So my question would be, why is it that people will say Gen Z, like Gen Z is lost, or like younger millennials are lost, right? Mm-hmm. As if they can't be lost coming to ask a certain person for advice. Like, oh, I have younger people that come and ask me for advice. Oh, those must be the good ones. No, they could be lost too. They could be asking the dead ass wrong person for advice. They could be lost, dumb as hell, out their mind, just like you said. But now all of a sudden, because they come and ask people for advice, or they think the way you lived your life is right, now they're not lost anymore.
What do I tell the younger women that's wrong? I'm
not saying literally you. That was a question for everyone.
What do I tell y'all that's wrong?
That wasn't specifically for you. That was a question for everyone. Because people say that all the time on here, that they say all the time, well, people ask me for advice, people ask me for marriage advice, relationship advice, But then they'll say, I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general, like I've heard people say that, but then they also judge younger people saying this is a lost generation. They can still be lost. Because if that's like if somebody who's 19 thinks that they should go and ask NBA Youngboy for advice, and NBA Youngboy is like, oh yeah, they're not lost because they came to me. No, you're not the pinnacle of perfection. They're still lost because like it's almost like you're justifying, not you literally, but people justify, and they're like, oh, these people aren't lost anymore because they came to me and they're gonna find the way. No, they're lost still. Like, I don't get that. Like people use themselves as this like, oh, you got it right because you came and asked the right person. No,
that's not true. Okay, well, whatever you say. But this is the thing. Can y'all please get off me? Because y'all got me all twisted. That's not how I am. I'm going to let it go. I don't tell you no wrong. So have a... I'm done. That's fine. Whatever y'all say about Lady O, that's fine.
I think that she handled that gracefully, honestly, objectively speaking. I think that the exact thing that she's going through right now, that two-edged sword on how you deliver information in a way where the youth perceive it as an attack versus being inquisitive, is the exact thing that Hamp was trying to protect her from, that she was going through. Had her approach been a little bit differently, then you would see like her response be differently, and it would be more effective. But I don't think she's wrong. She's sitting on the mountaintop, you know. She has the lived experience. You can't use NBA Youngboy, who is younger than all of us, and compare it to a woman who has life experience that predates most of our parents. Well, not most of them, but you know, she predates us.
Everybody shut the fuck up. Hey, shut the fuck up. Let me tell you something right now.
If you made it this far, check out the last one we just did on the Lapeef Network. They were discussing, is your wife your partner or you're watering it down? Check it out.